Welcome back to another episode of the Simple and Smart SEO Show podcast. This is the episode I like to call Follow Through Fridays, even though it's not on a Friday again. But I wanted to get caught up and go back to episode 136 with Edwin Romero, where we were talking about strategic SEO and having a growth mindset with business in general. Edwin's perspective was really great because it was grounded in real world applications of SEO. He's worked both agency side and now on the freelance / his own business side. So he understands like the holistic view that you have to take to drive visibility online. There were a few things that I took away from him that I felt like entrepreneurs could really use. One was his guided selling approach. Number two was breaking down our categories and collections and offers into things that people can actually digest. And then, of course, like all great conversations, it sparked some new ideas for me and it led me down an optimization rabbit trail where I went and updated some blogs, and I'll tell you about that. And then I also created a mini course for my SEO squad. It's a visibility audit that I'm calling your brand resume. So I'll talk about that a little bit. So I'll talk about that and then the one unanswered follow-up that I'd wanted to do, but just didn't have time. So let's go back to the beginning and let's talk about something that Edwin called the guided selling approach. And I really loved this definition. So what is guided selling? It means actively guiding your customers through their buying journey by presenting them with the right options based on their needs and preferences. It's about providing clarity and minimizing decision fatigue by offering curated, tailored choices that align with what your customer is looking for. And the way that I apply this just in general, things that we're not familiar with can feel so overwhelming. And SEO is one of those things. I recently attended a GA4 workshop and the terminology that was used, I was so interested. I was so engaged, but I was also like, oh my gosh, is this how people feel when I'm talking about SEO? What I took from that, and especially when you're doing SEO and presenting it to stakeholders or business owners, you've got to break it down to the most important impact, I think, MIM, most important impact. And that is just by really clarifying the strategy and saying, hey, these are the biggest opportunities for your company, ABC, and this is how we're going to address them, XYZ. And this is the outcome I anticipate that we're going to have. And I think that approach is just so much better because I remember when I first started, I was like, ooh, I'm going to do an Uber suggest audit for you. And there was no real strategy with that. It was like, yeah, here's some insights on how your website's performing, but it doesn't at all tell you how you can make more money with your website and your online presence. So I love that the guided selling approach introduced to us by Edwin Romero. So another thing I like, because I put this in chat and he described it as being a helpful concierge for your customers, ensuring they find exactly what they want. So that would be another prompt that I would probably put in as I'm thinking about presenting things to clients. How can I be a helpful concierge for my customer? Love ChatGPT. Okay. So the next one is breaking up offers or breaking up categories, or in my case, as an e-commerce store seller, breaking up the collections. And so I took this advice and applied it to my fall sports collections, and I combined it with some advice that I received from one of the SEO Squad small group members. The SEO Squad is the small group that I have for entrepreneurs. And Helen, who's a squad member, has an e-commerce store, and she was talking about how she was creating smaller collections so that she could then embed those checkout links within the blogs. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's so smart. So combined with Edwin's advice for making collections more targeted, it makes sense that if they're going to be more targeted, they're also going to be smaller. So I created collections specifically for posters for football players, posters for volleyball players, and posters for soccer players. I wanted to focus just on those fall sports because obviously it's fall sports season right now. I'm recording this in September 2024. That's going to help my customers who are looking for that particular sport find what they need faster. And I think it's going to improve the overall shopping experience. And then again, if someone comes into my website through the blog, they're also going to see these fall senior night options. So it's going to be something I'll have to update for winter, but I definitely love the idea. And I love that you can make smaller collections. So then you can embed them in your blog and have three of something instead of just one product embedded. As I was going through some of my blogs, I realized I still had Amazon affiliate links hooked up in there and I was kicked out of the Amazon affiliate program. So sad. And they never told me why, but the university of my experience told me that I bought something with my husband's Prime account, which I had just set up so I could buy him that NFL package. And he had never had a Prime account before. And somehow I was going back and forth on the profiles, purchased something for my business, got my own commission for it, and then got kicked out of the Amazon affiliate program. So that was like my first commission ever in the Amazon affiliate program. So I was so excited. Oh my gosh, look at this. It's amazing. And then I realized, oh crap, that was me. Yeah. So I had to remove those affiliate links. This was like probably over a year ago. And I realized there was still a couple blogs that had affiliate links in them. Additionally, back in 2020, 2021, I was going hard on Surfer SEO. And I always tell the people in the squad, I'm like, yes, I love using Surfer, but the one thing that Surfer does not do for me is optimize images. And so some of these blogs had giant images. I deleted them from the blog, but I downloaded them first so that I could then go optimize them whenever I have time. So of course, that's going on the never ending to-do list. Okay. So the last thing, something with talking with Edwin sparked this brainstorm around visibility audits and brand resumes. And what it is an omnichannel optimization strategy. And so I've always talked about having a presence on every platform. I believe that wherever one of your users or potential customers is, you want to be the same you there as you are on any other platform. And so that's why omnichannel optimization is so important. I feel like it's even that much more important as we're talking about building knowledge graphs and training GPT models, right? Because GPT models get their information from the internet. And if you're not everywhere on the internet reinforcing who you are as a brand, how will ChatGPT recommend you or any other GPT-based search engine of the future? So I started with the SEO squad and we tested it and awesome. So basically, let me pull it up. Okay, so I created this program within my new website over on Wix. I love this about Wix. I was trying to figure out like how to set this up and somebody from their help desk was like, hey, this sounds like it would be an online program. And I'm like, it's not a membership, but it's an online program within my membership. But I am also making it available to you as well if you'd like to go there. The program is called Optimizing Your Brand Resume. And in the introduction, I talk about using ChatGPT to develop your brand resume. I help you identify platforms for your brand resume. And then we start with all of the different platforms. Number one, Google Business Profile. Number two, social media, all of your Facebook, Instagram, X, LinkedIn profiles. Try to grab all of those handles and add in a description that is appropriate on those pages. Next is Pinterest. Then it's YouTube, and then it's forums and other platforms like Etsy, eBay, and Amazon. So I got to give a shout out to my squad because initially I did not include Etsy, eBay, and Amazon, but some of our members did have a presence on those sites, including myself. And it was like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense to go and optimize those profiles as well. I created the activity so that you could solidify your brand. So that visibility audit / brand resume is available for purchase for $67 on my website. Now, if you use the code podcast, you will save $10. Okay. The final thing I wanted to say is that I did have one unfinished follow-up from my conversation with Edwin, and that was around hijacking competitors' questions and comments. This is something I didn't have time to follow up on, and that was using competitor websites to find questions and comments that I can respond to or hijack to improve my SEO and content strategy. When you create your brand resume and you're thinking about the keywords that you want to show up for, when you're analyzing the search engine results pages for those keywords, you will find and identify some competitors that you may not have known existed. There was a couple for me that have popped up and I thought, I've never seen that before. So it's always good to take a look at that maybe once a quarter at least, just so you're aware of any change in the market. So let me recap what I've talked about here. Oh, and there was one thing I forgot to mention. I had moved my main website to simpleandsmartseo.com, and Edwin was talking about testing redirects and ensuring a smooth transition when migrating URLs. And I know that sounds like a lot in one sentence, but what was cool about it is I was able to use Screaming Frog to scan my website and download all of the URLs. And then I was able to use ChatGPT to put those URLs in a format that I could then upload into Wix for the Wix redirects. That was something I forgot to mention earlier. But yes, Thank you, Edwin, for explaining to me about the importance of testing redirects and helping me have a really smooth transition to my new website on Wix. And thank you for sharing your guided selling approach. I really feel like that is helping us as a squad curate really great choices for our clients. And I created new collections for my fall sports. And I'm really excited about how this is going to help my customers navigate my site. And updating those blog posts was something that had been on the to-do list for a while. And finding those affiliate links that were not deleted was the shock. So I was like, oh my gosh. And so many of those images were giving me warnings on all of the SEO sites. So it's nice to have those huge images off my site. Hopefully now it will load faster and just be better. And I can go back and optimize those blogs as I have time. And last, the visibility audit to help you build your brand resume for omnichannel optimization. It's now available for purchase at simpleandsmartseo.com. You can save $10 using the code podcast through the link in the show notes. The audit's going to give you clear, actionable steps to elevate how your brand shows up online. And the final thing, the SEO squad is open to new members at simpleandsmartseo.com/SEO squad. We meet every Wednesday at noon Eastern to troubleshoot our websites and discuss our brand strategies. So if you're looking for a collaborative space to work on your SEO, I'd love to have you join us. I think that's it for this episode of Follow Through Friday. So thank you so much for listening. Remember, you don't have to do everything at once. Just pick one thing or however much you have time for, do that thing, and then just keep moving forward. I'll see you next time.